were involved in many hundreds of accidents in the New South Wales building industry and factories last year. Some were fatal, some caused permanent disability. But men caused them, not the ladders, which after all are merely tools in the hands of careful or careless people. There are regulations regarding the use of ladders. Follow them to the letter. Your safety is in your own hands, and strict observance of the Act and regulations will protect you from accident. The regulations prohibit the use of a ladder like this. It is a dangerous makeshift. This batten ladder is prohibited too. Employers are obliged under regulation to provide safe ladders to give access to all working positions. Manufacturers work to regulations as well. During milling, defects, if any, are located and faulty pieces discarded. Carefully selected Oregon styles are first machine planed and their edges rounded, while the machine that carries out this operation also forms the groove designed to carry the wire when the ladder is assembled. Then holes are drilled partway into the styles to receive rungs. The positions of these are accurately fixed machine, which reduces them to the required diameter and length to fit the holes previously bored in the styles. Assembling the ladder is done mechanically in a large cramping machine. The two styles are laid down and the rungs put into position. Hydraulic rams then close the styles together, after which nails are driven to secure the rungs. The ladder is then bent in a jig. A heavy 10-gauge wire is stretched from each end above the groove. The ladder is allowed to straighten and the wire is pinned into the groove securely. Step ladders and ladders of similar type are varnished for protection. Here is a fault found during manufacture. It is a compression fracture which could have been caused in the growing tree during a gale, or it might be the result of the tree falling across a boulder when it was felled. Now this piece of timber seems to be perfect, but it actually has a very short grain, and it does not take much of a strain or blow to break it. It could be caused by incorrect cutting of the log, general deviation of the grain around a knot, or a spiral grain in the tree. This grain scribe is used for examining the direction of the grain. The needle follows the grain itself. The ladders used in industry are the step ladder, the trestle ladder, the builder's ladder, and the extension ladder. They leave the manufacturers in sound and safe condition. It's what you do with them after you get them that matters. It's one thing to get a ladder unloaded quickly, but this treatment can cause damage even before the ladder is used. You mightn't see it, but someone may find out later the hard way. When a new ladder arrives, it is essential to check condition. A defect could have. Apart from faulty workmanship, look for timber defects, such as knots, and for cross grain. This is within the limit grain, which is fixed by regulation at a maximum slope of 1 inch in 15 inches. Always satisfy yourself that the stiles are within this limit. When it is not in use, see that it is stored correctly. If it's left on the ground, vehicles may damage it, to say nothing of the effects of damp and weather. When a ladder has been used for some time, defects such as a split are liable to develop. In this case, the defect was caused by dropping the ladder, which resulted in it becoming dangerous for any further use. Be on the lookout for this sort of thing. It could mean danger. Even a new ladder may develop checks, and they always follow the direction of the grain. You won't see them unless you look closely, so examine a ladder carefully before you use it. Don't paint a ladder with opaque paint. Painting over a knot like this may conceal a defect which could cause accidents. You can use a clear varnish because it is transparent. Now, accidents are events which need not happen. Yet sometimes they do, and the cause is almost always a human one. Charlie found out. One working day he started on time, and 20 minutes later, he was finished work for the day. He was finished work for some months, to be precise, but Charlie sustained severe injuries in an accident that a little care would have avoided. He was to paint roof trusses in a factory. He was an experienced tradesman, and he saw to it that his ladder was placed so that it could not slip sideways at the top. So there was no risk of the ladder slipping, but the floor was slippery and the ladder started to slide. Charlie didn't realize what was happening until it was too late. This would have avoided it. With the person footing the ladder, it is safe to mount it. There'll be no slipping of the base. Then the head of the ladder should have been lashed to the roof trusses. Simple and obvious, yes, yet people do forget sometimes. When you use a step ladder, there are several things to watch. See that it is fully open to the extent of the restraining ropes. This is important to safety, and ropes should be secured to the stiles, not the tread. Ladder spells danger. Set it on firm, level ground, and you can use it safely. It's worth a little bit of extra care. Step ladders, unless specially designed and approved, must not be used to support scaffolding planks. They are unstable and therefore dangerous. This is an approved type, combination trestle and step ladder, and may be used to support scaffold planks. Trestle ladders are designed to support scaffolding planks, but then take care with the legs fully extended. If they are extended, they are likely to walk. In any case, don't place them near stairways because this could happen. When you use ladder brackets, don't use this type, which is badly designed and which is a point load in the center of the rung. Don't use ladder brackets in this position. You have to climb over them to reach the scaffold. This is correct procedure on a single ladder to a height of 12 feet. A 12-inch plank must be used. The plank is properly placed under the ladder, thus tending to stabilize the whole scaffold. You are familiar enough with the extension ladder, but there are rules to follow with it also. There are steel ties below the top and bottom rungs and below every 6th rung to hold the stiles together. The safety lock is the key to your safety. Make sure it is not damaged because it could telescope. These ropes and pulleys are there to be used. Don't try to extend the ladder without them. It's dangerous and foolish. You could easily be hurt by your thumbs. Do it this way. This 10-gauge wire in the underside groove reinforces the ladder, but remember that you must not use it near electrical conductors. Accidental contact has caused fatal accidents. The same precaution must be taken in the case of an aluminium ladder. This type of ladder has safety shoes to assist it to maintain its position. Finally, remember that an extension ladder must rest on a firm base and use side guys to prevent it from falling sideways. The builder's ladder is more robust than any other types, being designed for heavy duty such as bricklayers' scaffold access. Access to that scaffolding is important, and badly placed ladders can too easily result in accidents. A vertical ladder is a menace to the man who uses it. That is because his weight is outside the base of the ladder. The slightest slip must cause him to fall. To carry tools to the working platform this way is to invite disaster. He must rely on one hand in successive grasps of the rungs. Each separate rung is a hazard. One missed handhold so easy to happen can kill or maim you for life. It has happened to others, it could happen to you. The scaffolding and lifts regulations are primarily designed to prevent such accidents. Inspectors of the Department of Labor and Industry are continually applying their experience in the cause of accident prevention. They are supported by the department's engineers, who specialize in the design review of cranes, hoists, plants, scaffolding and gear. The access to the scaffold, for example, conforms properly to safety rules. The ladder is placed at such an angle 20 feet from ground level to platform. The ladder is also securely fixed that an access platform shall have a minimum size of 27 by 48 inches. It is also provided with handrails and toe boards. That is proper provision for safety. The Scaffolding and Lifts Act and regulations impose obligations on the employer, and they also impose obligations on the employee too. Use the safeguards provided in accordance with these regulations. Your safety is in your own hands. Use them wisely to set up and secure your ladders, and you won't be let down.